Hey everybody, here Duxon, and we'll be talking about leveling with the 12 time XP bonus that's going on until December 1st for those that subscribed and also pre-ordered the new expansion Shadow of Revan. So you can do this fairly quickly. Like what we've seen as fastest so far is 8 hours and 17 minutes, I believe. I did mine in 9 hours and 21, and I still have a lot of things I think I can improve on that I didn't quite do as well as I should have. But here is how I did mine in 9 hours and 21 minutes. So right off the bat, as soon as you get in, basically start killing stuff. Don't even waste time with all the little gimmicks that you got in your bags. If you have any, like me, I have quite a few, and it's just annoying. Yes, you get some XP, but it's nothing compared to the XP you're gonna get from killing a few mobs and getting a quest done. So you should be getting out of your first planet around level 15 if you've done everything right. So what you should have done is basically have your XP buff, which is either 1 hour or 3 hour buffs. You can find those on the GTN. They might be getting pricey because this thing's gonna last for a while and it's gonna pretty much take everybody's resources from it. Anyways, so again, make sure you have that buff on. The next one is the 10% XP buff from your guild. Also, make sure that your guild has actually 10%. Some guilds are really small, so if they don't, try to make sure that they do get there. Things that definitely will help is if you have Treek unlocked to your legacy. That way you can actually pop Treek as soon as you get to level 10, get his contract in the fleet, and then you run with Treek the rest of the way. That's what I like doing. I usually put him in tank mode, and I basically just plow through everything around her, and she just does the work. Now, as soon as you get around level 30, that's when Treek starts to be a little weaker, or gear starts to kind of be not as cool, as good as it once was, obviously, right? So what I did is I made, because most of people that are active in conquests have capped a lot of planetary commendations on a lot of different characters at 55 because they were running the heroics non-stop, and hopefully you didn't pick the blue items or the chests. You actually picked the comms until you were capped, because a full 100 commendation will basically give you a full set of actual gear of any level that you want, except the only thing you won't get is the two relics, because they don't have it. Companions don't have any anyway. But the two relics, if you were making a set for yourself, the two implants, and then the earpiece. So what I do is I made a level 30, 20, 27 or 28 set, and then I made a level 35 and a level 45 set. So you can make them all over the place, which one you feel is you're more comfortable with. But what you gotta understand is that at 47, that becomes completely useless. Just keep with me and you'll understand later. But yeah, so what you want to do is pick 3 legacy sets. There you can pick from Torn, GSI, Oricon. There's other ones as well. Like any of them, doesn't matter. And if it's Treek that wears it anyway, you won't even see what it looks like. So that's the beauty of it. You can have a set that looks completely ugly, but no one sees it, so who cares? Only you know that's what he's using or she's using. Also, if you want the weapons, then you can go, and at least Torn and Grey has weapons. I don't think, well, the Casino event had some too, but I think that was all removed, so you can't do that anymore. The offhands are only from the Grey event with Grey elixirs. If you had them stacked like I did, I bought 3 sets of each, the weapons, like basically a handgun. You don't have to get a bowcaster. You can get a handgun for Treek, and that works just fine. And then an offhand for him as well, or for her. Another thing that's minor, but I can help, is you can actually unlock the exploration XP on the character itself as character perks, because it will work, because that's not part of the class XP whatsoever. You can also unlock the level 10 mount perk, so that you can get your mount right away at level 10, because there's a lot of traveling, and you may not realize, but having a mount right off the bat at level 10 will definitely help you having a faster time. Another thing that will help you is having your Kartob mount, and if you get that one, it's the one that has the 2 like Zeppelin like engines above your head, and you're sitting on that thing, and it's got 110 speed right off the bat. So definitely a huge thing, and that's one of the things I didn't use for my guy that I did in 9 hours, and I'm curious to see how much faster I could get with this one actually in there. So again, if you don't have the Kurtov mount, you have to do refer friends, and then as you refer friends, you get it. I don't know which one gives it to you. I think it's the first one actually, but if it's not, then yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the first one. As soon as someone refers you as a friend, you get the Kurtov mount, and it goes to all your characters that you have and all the ones you create on any server, any legacy, doesn't matter. You get that. So that's a really, really good perk to have. Another one is skip as much bonuses as you can. It's a waste of time. Don't waste your time doing any of that. Don't waste your time again doing any of the heroics, any of the quests, nothing else. Just do class quests only, no bonus class quests, nothing else but just the class quests. That is faster. The only way I would do the bonus is if I had no choice to kill, like, I don't know, 15 things getting to the end guy, and at the end I needed like 16. Well, okay, kill the extra one for the XP, but if it's gonna basically become something where you actually end up wasting a lot of time, don't, like 2, 3, 4, 5 pulls, don't worry about that. Just keep going. It's not, the XP is minimal, it doesn't give you much of anything, and you're just wasting time. The other thing is, usually the way I do it, my character is actually a little weaker, and Shriek is definitely the one that's a little stronger, so killing more stuff, probably not the best thing. Okay, so what else? Oh, okay. Once you hit 47, you should be around the very end of Belsavis or Voss, depending on if you had a character that was fairly high with rested XP, or if you had, usually that's the main one. If you have rested XP and you're a fairly high character, and you actually had to go down in your class quest to catch up, you're usually quite a bit ahead, and then you might actually finish at the beginning of Belsavis being 47. If that happens, as soon as you hit 47, doesn't matter where you are, go to Macab. Basically what you do is you go to your hangar, to your starship. Once you're inside, you should have a quest there. Pick up the quest, and then it'll send you automatically to the orbital station for Macab. And then do the quest, you'll get a weapon. For inside, you get your weapon right there on the station. For the pub side, you have to go down to Macab to get it from one of the NPCs there. But either way, you get a weapon that's actually badass. Also, if you get quests for a weapon around 45, 46, just take the comms, because it's useless. You're going to replace it immediately pretty much in a couple levels, and it's going to be immediately probably twice better. It's really that good. So yeah, just as soon as you hit there, do that quest, and as soon as you're done the quest, once you get inside the hangar on the orbital station, you'll see on your left there's actually a little satellite display. Click on that, because that will basically triple all your stats across the board. So usually I get around there with around 9k health as a 47, maybe 48 depending, and then it triples that. So automatically you become amazing compared to your companion. Now Shriek, usually I revert to healing mode, and then I make myself the DPS or whatever. Usually I try to be a DPS at that point, but even if you're not, like as a healer, I was DPSing quite nicely. Like the buff is amazing. So, and you do not lose that satellite buff unless you leave Macab. Remember, if you actually do leave, that you will lose the buff and you'll have to reapply it. It's as simple as that. But if you forget, trust me, you won't forget, because you'll die really quickly. Because you'll think you have the buff and you won't, and that there's definitely a big difference. Another quick tip is never ever go to your hangar. The only time you should go to your hangar is when you actually go to get your quest. Like your starship, sorry. When you get your starship, like you have to go to your ship, that's the only time you should go there. Only time. There are so many ways to go around that, around that temptation to go to your hangar. First, you can go to the little. There's a little display right before you enter your hangar in the fleet, and that can send you right away to your ship anyway. So technically, even if you were going from the fleet, there is no reason ever to go in your hangar, ever. So don't waste the time. If let's say it tells you you have to drive the ship to Drummonkas and then you have to go to Drummonkas, then what I do usually is I'll go to Drummonkas, and as soon as I hit Drummonkas, I'll actually hit my stronghold, go to Drummonkas, my stronghold on Drummonkas, and then I'll turn around once I get there and click on the elevator, and there's an option that drop to exit to Drummonkas. Do not go to the other one below. It should be the first from the top that exit to Drummonkas. And as soon as you exit, you're going to be right in the middle of Kos City. You won't have to go through the damn freaking starport. You won't have to go through the nice little fucking speeder bike all the way down. All that's gone. Gonzo. Bye-bye. So again, you're saving a lot of time. I guess the only time you should go there through the starport is the first time, because again you have to unlock the flight paths and everything. But even then, you don't even have to. You don't even have to, because the first quest sends you straight to Drummonkas, to Kos City. So you could just skip that altogether. Again, never go to your hangar. Again, I was already starting on that. Your stronghold is your friend. It's the quickest way to get to your ship. If your last quest says, gotta go to your ship to use your holo terminal, fucking right away. I don't even get out of the cave or wherever I'm at. I don't even go back. I just stronghold, fucking Drummonkas, or any of them in that matter for this one. And then click to go to your starship. You're already there. Bam. And then holo terminal, next planet, and you're on your way. You keep going as fast as you can. And it's really good, especially when your quick travel is on cooldown, right? You're gonna waste a lot less time. Obviously, that's not so. Depends for who as well, because some people have a really slow loading time, so they might want to avoid loading. But you're gonna have to load either way, so I think you're better off doing it the way I just showed. Another thing to remember that's kind of underutilized is, again, I mentioned Kos City, and Coruscant is really good as well, but you can also do it with Wasilla if you need to go back for whatever reason, and you can also do it with Nar Shaddaa, which I did a lot. Nar Shaddaa I do quite a bit because it goes right back to Promenade. It goes close to where the monitors are for GSH, so anything that has to do with stronghold monitors, that's where they will have you spawn. So pretty good little lift right there. If you're in Kos City, you have the main area, you have the cantina on this side, and then you have a bunch of trainers on that side, and there's also the monitors there too. So all you got to do is go up, go this way, go up, and then take the flight path, and you're there. I mean, it's really fast. Definitely a lot faster than before, where you had to walk all the way back to the flight path and then like be super far away from everything. And that doesn't even include getting out of like the temple or whatever else you were into. What else can I help you with? Oh yeah, keep your inventory clean. And I know I'm like the worst for that, but when I'm leveling, I always try to basically push as much as possible of that. When I see that I have maybe one last line on my inventory left, I go to my cargo and I dump most of all that stuff in there. The only thing I keep pretty much is my 3 sets of gear for Treek. And even then, I don't even need all 3. But again, it goes so fast with the 12 times class 6p bonus that you don't need to worry too much. All you don't want to do is be like, oh, I don't know what to remove. Oh, do I remove this? No, you don't want to do that. You want to basically take it all out right away. That way, when you get your quest coming in, clink right away. You pick it up, your reward, and keep going. Dying can actually be a blessing in that game of trying to get it done as fast as possible. Certain maps, like especially like Hot and for sure, I think Belsavis maybe, and there's a few maps. The maps that where you go from point A to point B to point C to point D. You never go back to point A until the very end. Which at that point you just QT and that's fine. But those maps, there's a few of them. Hot is one of them for sure, where you just keep trucking forward the whole time and you never really quite go back to your original point until the end. And then when you get those maps, it's if let's say you left point A, you went to point B, which was down here, but you haven't unlocked your flight path because it's the next flight path because it's too far out of the way. You just want to go straight to that cave, but then now it's actually the next point is actually further down. All you gotta do is take a death. It puts you right back to that flight path you couldn't get, didn't want to go to right away. Now you unlock that and you can keep going. It ends up being faster overall. Alderaan is actually pretty bad for that as well. So in some places, it will actually help you a lot. So again, just look at the situation, especially if you've done a few 55s. You kind of have an idea of what the maps are like and where the med station might be, and then if it's close enough, you're like, oh yeah, that should be this point that I didn't unlock again. And it will go without saying, make sure you unlock all the QT, the travel spots, and then the flight paths that you see on your way, if possible. If they're too far out, that's fine. Or if you know that you're not going to need them, that's fine. Like I said, hot, I didn't really need them very much. There's very few of them that I did need, right? But again, if you're in that cave that I was talking about, right, it was better for me to take the death and spawn on that one. I didn't take the flight pad at, because if I didn't, I had to either QT and go all the way back to the first point because I didn't have the second one, or I was going all the way out of that long ass cave forever and ever, and then I had to go all the way back up north to go to that second point that I could have just been there instantly at. So again, save time. Any way you can. Dying is fine. Your gear is not that great. You don't pay for any of the spells or utilities or anything like that. So it's, I mean, what is it to take a few deaths and basically repair when you get to the med station. Stealthers obviously are the best one to use. That's the one I did my best time with, of 9 hours and 21 minutes. Another thing though to think about is, as soon as you get those towns that will increase your speed while stealth, make sure you picked up those. Anything that will increase your stealth, make sure you picked up those. Just everything to make it easier for you to stealth through everything and not have to be bothered as much as possible. Not that you're weak or anything like that. It's not about that. It's just about going to point A to point B and not be disturbed whatsoever, unless I absolutely have to kill something. And that's basically it, guys. Really, like, just keep playing, keep trucking around, and keep avoiding that hangar, and you should be pretty darn good. Again, there's a lot of little tricks, and they all work. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Happy Power 11.